KCAL News investigates dangerous toxic conditions in some of LA's metro stations. And investigative reporter David Goldstein is here with a look at what he's uncovered. Dave.
Well, Pat, the investigators found this is really off the charts, the levels of these drugs. Now, according to the report we obtained, 54-page environmental report, it shows potentially deadly traces of drugs left behind by homeless who had camped out in the train stations. Now, Metro never released this report and certainly doesn't want to talk about it.
She's going to a meeting.
I'm just walking, you know. Metro employees tried to block us from asking CEO Stephanie Wiggins about what we found. At the Hollywood and Highland station, behind these emergency doors, environmental investigators found dangerous levels of fentanyl and methamphetamine. At the Wilshire and Vermont station, the same thing found in the emergency stairways. As a rider, what do you think of that?
It's dangerous.
Fred Favors rides the train almost every day. You think they should tell the riders about what's going on behind those doors?
Well, they have to.
Most of the contamination was found in areas behind these emergency exit doors. These are areas where you'd have to leave in case of an emergency. But even so, take a look at this. It's just a few feet away from the trains where passengers get on and off every day. We obtained this hazard assessment commissioned by Metro in May. It was prompted by the hundreds of homeless who had camped out in the trains, stations, and emergency stairways. The report includes photos showing what was left after the homeless were moved out. You can see the garbage, but these boxes show what you can't see. Here, they found traces of deadly drugs. The spaces are heavily contaminated with fentanyl and methamphetamine from illicit drug use, the report states. Fentanyl is a highly potent synthetic opioid. This presents a hazard not only to the personnel tasked with cleaning the spaces, but also anybody entering. They recommend people wear special PPEs before going in.
This is a ticking time bomb.
Angelique Campen is an ER doctor who has dealt with fentanyl overdoses. According to the report, on these floors and walls at the Hollywood and Highland station, they discovered 1.5 micrograms of fentanyl. That's almost 15,000% higher than what's considered safe, and that could be deadly.
It takes a very small amount in your system to make you stop breathing.
We obtained this directive that was posted to employees on July 15th, listing certain areas of 6 stations reported as biohazards, areas not to be entered. And another email we obtained talks of custodial employees getting sick. But we found no warning going out to riders. Did your organization know about this report?
We did not know about this report. This is the first time I'm hearing about the report.
Alfonso Directo is with ACT LA, the Alliance for Community Transit, which in part works to improve transportation for low-income communities. They're telling all their employees, rightly so, not to go in areas. Have they told the riders? Have they told your organization?
They haven't told our organization. No, they have not.
You think they should?
I think they do have an obligation to let people know about health hazards that exist. Dangerous ones.
How important are those areas if there was an emergency?
The emergency exits are critical.
Carl Berkowitz is a transportation expert. He says emergency exits have to be maintained.
If you have an emergency, you don't have time to put on PPE equipment. I don't understand why those areas aren't swept and clean on a regular basis.
Can I get 2 minutes with you? That's what we wanted to ask Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins. Earlier, her department issued us a statement saying, quote, "We believe the risk to the public is minimal, and all areas referenced in the report have undergone deep cleaning." But sources provided us these photos showing areas that seem to be untouched and need cleaning. How safe are the exits in an emergency if you're telling your employees not to go in there? There are bulletins that are out that telling your employees not to go in those areas without safety equipment. So how safe can they be for riders?
Personal protective equipment is what we are requiring our employees to. Thank you.
Exactly. So how safe could they be for riders to use them in case of an emergency? And she didn't respond to that question. Now, since we started inquiring, we found Metro has cleaned some areas, but we are told they haven't cleaned all of them. They claim there's no danger, but they do admit they're working to mitigate any potential risk to riders and to staff. Pat?
Oh, so what do riders do in the meantime?
Obviously the emergency exits, if there's an emergency, hopefully there isn't before they get it clean. This also comes at a point when they're really pushing for transit with the Taylor Swift concert coming, not only in LA, but other cities pushing people to take transit. So it's just, to watch out as you would in any place.
All right, but at least now they are aware.
Yes.
If they saw your report. All right. Thanks so much, David.